The day the monster didn't die, smoke filled the sky over Outpost 49. The battle had ended, but the ground was still burning. Crushed metal, alien weapons, and broken walls were everywhere. Humans had survived, but just barely. A group of soldiers stood near a deep crater. Inside it, something was moving. Something big. It's still alive. One soldier whispered. Lying in the middle of the crater was a massive alien creature, at least 20 feet long, with thick, black scales, glowing blue veins, and a long tail that twitched slightly. Its body was covered in burns and wounds. Its breathing slow and weak. Orders are to finish anything still breathing, the commander barked. That thing killed 6 men. No mercy. Rifles were raised. Fingers tightened on triggers, but just before the shots were fired, someone shouted, "Wait!" All eyes turned. It was Cole, a young mechanic in a dusty brown uniform. He wasn't a soldier. He didn't have a weapon. Just a toolkit on his belt and grease on his hands. "Don't shoot," Cole said, stepping forward carefully. "Look at its eyes." The alien's bright blue eyes were open, and they weren't full of rage. They were full of pain and fear. "It's not fighting anymore," Cole continued. "It's not even growling. It's scared. Step back." "Engineer," the commander warned. "This is not your job." But Cole didn't move. He looked at the alien closely. Despite its size and sharp claws, the creature was shaking. A low, sad sound came from its throat. It was almost like a cry. Cole reached into his bag and pulled out a small water canister. Slowly, he moved closer and placed it near the beast's mouth. The creature didn't snap or roar. Instead, it looked at him, then at the water, then closed its eyes. "I don't think it wants to hurt us," Cole said softly. "I think it was forced to fight." The soldiers were quiet. After a long pause, the commander sighed. "You have 1 hour, then we're torching it." Cole nodded and ran to get his hoverlift. The alien was too heavy to carry, but with some effort, he managed to load it onto the platform. Every second, he expected the beast to wake up and attack, but it didn't. It just lay still, breathing hard. He brought it back to the engineering bay, a place full of machines and broken drones. The medics refused to help him. "It's a killer," they said. "It doesn't belong here." Cole didn't argue. He used what he had: coolant gel, soldering tools, biopaste, to close its wounds. He worked for hours, his hands trembling. The beast groaned once, but never struck. When night came, Cole sat beside it, watching it breathe. He spoke to it quietly. "I don't know what you are," he said, "but I saw something in your eyes. Not a monster. Just someone lost." The lights flickered. Outside, the desert wind howled. The rest of the base had locked down, afraid the alien might wake up and go wild. But in the dark, the alien didn't move until just before dawn. Cole had started to drift off when he heard a sound, a low grunt. He opened his eyes. The creature was awake, its head lifted slowly. Glowing eyes stared straight at him. Cole stood up quickly, unsure what would happen. The alien blinked once. Then, slowly, it lowered its head to the floor, a sign of peace. Or was it submission? Cole's breath caught in his throat. "You understand me?" he asked. The beast didn't speak, but it didn't need to. That simple action had said everything. It had chosen him, not as prey, but as pack. And from that moment on, the galaxy would never see this worthless beast the same way again. The sun rose over Outpost 49, casting golden light on the cold metal walls. But inside the engineering bay, the air was heavy with fear and confusion. Cole stood silently beside the alien beast, unsure what he had just witnessed. The creature had bowed its head to him. It wasn't just some wild animal anymore. It had recognized him. The beast's wounds were healing slowly. Its thick black skin had fused over in places where Cole applied the biogel. The creature didn't resist, didn't growl, and didn't move unless Cole was near. It watched him with those bright blue eyes, alert, curious, and strangely calm. But not everyone was pleased. That morning, 2 security officers stormed into the engineering bay, their boots loud against the metal floor. "Step away from it," one said, pointing a stun rifle. "Orders from command." Cole raised his hands. "It hasn't done anything. Look at it. It's not aggressive." "It's still dangerous," the second officer snapped. "They want it caged. Now." Cole looked at the alien beast. It made a low sound, not loud, not angry, just disappointed. Then it lowered its head again, as if it understood what was about to happen. "I'll help," Cole said quickly. "Let me be the one to secure it. It trusts me." The officers exchanged glances, then reluctantly agreed. Cole led the beast slowly into the side bay, where old storage containers were stacked like walls. Using a retractable energy barrier, he created a large cage, not for punishment, but for protection. "I'm sorry," he whispered to the creature. "Just give me time." The beast didn't roar or fight. It simply sat down and watched him. Hours passed. News spread across the outpost. People started calling it the Black Death or the War Dog. Some wanted it killed immediately, others were curious. No one had ever seen an alien beast act like that, so calm, so controlled. Cole stayed with it every free moment. He brought water, protein packs, and even a broken radio to see how it reacted to sound. To his surprise, the beast tilted its head when music played. A soft hum vibrated in its throat. It liked the sound every day. It responded to him more. It even started mimicking him. When Cole tilted his head, so did the beast. When Cole scratched his chin, the beast lifted a claw and gently touched its snout. It was learning. One night while Cole was working late, the lights flickered and alarms blared. Intruder alert. Engineering bay. Cole ran toward the cage, just in time to see a drunken soldier trying to poke the beast with a metal rod through the energy barrier. "You think this thing's cute? It killed my brother." The soldier shouted. The beast didn't move at first. But when the rod hit its face, it snarled. The barrier shook as the creature slammed its body against it with such force that the lights flickered again. The soldier fell backward in terror. Cole rushed forward. "Get out of here." The soldier ran, slipping on the floor, eyes wide with fear. Cole turned to the beast. "It's okay, he's gone." The beast looked at him, breathing heavily. It didn't growl anymore. It just stared. "You could have killed him if the shield wasn't there," Cole whispered. "But you didn't." The alien slowly sat down. Again, Cole knew then this creature wasn't just learning behavior. It was making choices, and it had chosen restraint. Later that night, Cole sat on a bench outside the cage. He looked through old ship logs and communication reports, searching for any clue about the creature's species. Nothing matched. No records, no history, no name. "You don't belong to any known species," he said, tired. "Are you the last of your kind?" The beast let out a deep sigh and lay down, curling its tail around itself like a sleeping dog. "I'm going to call you Brute," Cole said with a small smile. "Hope you don't mind." The beast opened one eye and didn't seem to mind at all. In the coming days, strange things started to happen. Whenever Cole walked past the cage, the beast rose and followed him with its eyes. When Cole was gone for too long, it grew restless. When he returned, it sat quietly and waited. The engineers started whispering that maybe the beast was imprinting on him, like a baby animal seeing its parent for the first time. But Brute was no baby. It was a creature of war. And for some unknown reason, it had decided that Cole was not just a human. He was its pack. What no one realized yet was that this bond would soon be tested in fire and blood. 2 weeks passed. The alien beast, now known around the outpost as Brute, was no longer seen as just a monster. Soldiers still walked wide around the engineering bay, but they didn't raise their guns anymore. Everyone noticed one thing. Brute never reacted violently. Unless Cole was in danger, Cole had become Brute's center. Wherever Cole went, Brute's glowing blue eyes followed. When Cole worked in the lab, Brute lay behind the energy barrier like a silent shadow, never sleeping until Cole left. That bond was about to be tested. The outpost had picked up a strange signal in the desert, a small crash site, about 4 clicks away. Scouts were sent to check it out, but something went wrong. Their last transmission was scrambled with static and screams. A quick response team was formed. Cole, as the lead engineer familiar with alien tech, was ordered to join them. "You sure you want to leave your pet behind?" One soldier joked. Cole didn't answer. He looked at Brute, who stood behind the energy wall, still as a statue. "I'll be back soon," Cole whispered. But Brute growled low. It was the first time since bonding that Brute showed any resistance to being left. The mission began at sunset. The desert glowed red under the dying light, and the wind howled like ghosts. The team of 6 moved fast, scanning the terrain with thermal drones. At the crash site, they found something shocking, a twisted pod, not human, not anything recorded. Scattered around it were what looked like eggs. "That's not good," Cole muttered just then. A screech tore through the air. Alien creatures, spindly, fast and armed with razor-sharp limbs, burst from the dunes. They weren't like Brute. These were true killers, blind with rage. "Ambush!" The squad leader shouted. Gunfire lit up the dark. Cole ducked behind the crashed pod, heart pounding. A creature lunged at him, shrieking. It would have torn him in half. But something slammed into it from the side like a cannonball. The creature flew through the air and smashed against a rock. Cole blinked. Standing between him and death was Brute, covered in dust and sand. Brute growled louder than Cole had ever heard. His glowing body shimmered like a shield of light. His eyes locked on the alien attackers, and in the next second, he charged. It was like watching a living tank. Brute tackled one attacker and crushed it under his claws. Another jumped from behind Brute, spun, and whipped it with his tail, sending it flying. A third tried to stab him, but Brute bit through its neck in a single motion. The squad stared in shock. "Where the hell did that thing come from?" A soldier yelled. "It followed us," Cole breathed. "It knew I was in danger." Brute didn't wait for thanks. He charged again, making sure no enemy got close to Cole. His fury was terrifying but controlled. He didn't attack the other soldiers, even though they had once tried to cage him. One by one, the alien attackers were defeated. And then silence. The team stood frozen in the desert, surrounded by burning alien bodies. Brute stood in the middle, breathing heavily, blood dripping from his claws but unharmed. Cole slowly approached him. "You saved my life," he said quietly. Brute turned, lowered his head, and gently nudged Cole's shoulder. It wasn't just protection. It was loyalty. On the way back to the outpost, Brute walked beside Cole like a guard dog. Soldiers who once called him a monster now kept their eyes down, uncertain of what they'd just seen. Back at the gate, a group of officers stopped them. "What is that thing doing out of its cage?" "It followed me," Cole said firmly. "It saved our lives." Brute growled low at the officers, sensing their fear. One officer stepped back. "Put it down now, before it turns on us." But the commander who had once ordered Brute's death stepped forward. "I saw the footage from the drone," he said calmly. "It didn't attack us, it protected us. Protected you." Everyone looked at Brute again, but this time, not with hate. With respect. Later that night, Cole sat on the edge of the engineering bay while Brute slept beside him like a giant cat curled around its kitten. "You're not just a beast," Cole whispered. "You're something more." In the darkness, Brute opened one eye. A faint glow shimmered. almost like understanding whatever brute was weapon, beast, or something ancient. They had just become more than survivor and savior. They were partners, and this partnership had just begun shaking the galaxy's old rules. Asterisk, the video footage of Brute protecting the human squad spread across the stars faster than a jump drive. Within days, messages poured into Outpost 49, some from science labs, others from military generals, and even a few from alien governments. They all wanted the same thing. The beast. Cole sat in the outpost's command room, staring at a glowing message on the holoscreen. Subject classified as Alpha Class. Biological asset. Request immediate transfer to Galactic Research Hub Sector 8. Alpha Class? Cole muttered. They think he's a weapon. Commander Haskin stood behind him, arms crossed. Not just a weapon, a prize. A creature like Brute? Loyal, intelligent, and deadly? Every empire wants him. Cole turned, frustration rising. He's not a thing. He's not for sale. Haskin sighed. Doesn't matter what we think. We're getting visitors, high-level ones. They'll arrive by tomorrow. That night, Cole returned to the engineering bay. Brute was there, calm as always, lying beside a pile of old scrap metal Cole had turned into toys. Brute gently rolled a round piece across the floor with his nose like a curious pup. You're famous now, Cole said, sitting beside him. And that's bad. Brute looked up, sensing something was wrong. Cole reached out and touched Brute's thick neck, feeling the warm hum beneath the skin. They don't see you like I do. They'll try to take you. Use you. Brute let out a deep, soft growl, not angry, just alert. Cole smiled bitterly. Yeah, I know. We won't let that happen. The next day, a sleek black shuttle landed outside the outpost. The doors opened, and a tall alien stepped out, skin pale silver, eyes glowing gold. Dressed in dark robes. Dr. Yelv of the Galactic Zoological Dominion. Behind her were 2 guards and a hover crate lined with energy shackles. I have come to collect the creature, she said without emotion. Cole stood in front of her with the commander by his side. He's not going anywhere. Dr. Yelv raised one thin eyebrow. Under Galactic Code 77X, any unregistered alien predator must be collected for classification. He is not your pet human. He is unclaimed biological matter. He has a name, Cole snapped. Brute. And he's not matter. He's a living being. The guards moved toward the engineering bay. Brute was already standing behind the glass, growling low. His body tensed. The glowing lines on his skin brightened like fire. The guards stopped. He's dangerous, one whispered. He's defending his space, Cole replied. From you. Dr. Yelv walked to the glass, staring into Brute's eyes. Fascinating. It chooses you. Such behavior is rare. I will offer a trade 10 crates of platinum. And a ship of your own. Cole was stunned. You're trying to buy him? He asked. I am offering you a better life, she said, voice cold and smooth. You're just a poor mechanic. You live in dust and noise. But with this trade, you can live like royalty. Cole looked at Brute. The creature was standing still now, eyes locked on him, chest rising and falling slowly. Waiting, watching. It trusted him, and Cole felt something rise in his chest. Something stronger than fear or pride, loyalty. Not selling him, Cole said quietly, not for platinum. Not for a palace. Dr. Yelv's face turned dark. You will regret this, she hissed. She turned and stormed back to her shuttle. But as the engines began to fire up, she gave a final order. Plan B, send the droids in after dark. We'll take it by force. Inside the shuttle, mechanical units powered up, cold, silent machines built to sedate and extract wild creatures. They would come for Brute while everyone slept, but Brute wasn't just a wild creature. That night, while Cole worked on wiring upgrades in the bay, Brute suddenly lifted his head and growled. Not the soft sound he used before. This was sharper, more alert. His ears twitched. His nose flared. "What is it?" Cole asked. Then the lights cut out. Everything went black. Red. Emergency lights blinked. The security system buzzed. Cole grabbed the light stick and turned toward the main entrance. Just as the door exploded inward, 2 sleek black droids rolled inside, spraying stun gas. Brute let out a roar so loud the walls vibrated. Before Cole could move, Brute was already on the attack. The first droid tried to fire a net, but Brute spun and slammed it with his tail, sending it crashing through a wall. The second launched a dart. Brute caught it in midair with his claw and crushed it. Within seconds, the intruders were nothing but broken metal and wires. The lights flickered back. Cole stood frozen, heart racing. Brute walked over, nudged him gently, then sat down like nothing had happened. Cole smiled, shaken but proud. "They're not taking you," he whispered. "Not while I'm alive." What neither of them knew yet was that bigger ships were already watching from orbit, and they wouldn't ask permission next time. The wreckage of the broken droids still lay scattered across the engineering bay floor. Sparks crackled from severed circuits. Smoke drifted toward the ceiling. Cole and Brute stood in silence, breathing hard in the glow of emergency lights. Message was clear. They would come again. And next time, they would bring more. Cole didn't sleep that night. He stayed awake, reviewing security logs, watching for any sign of another attack. Brute paced behind the glass wall like a lion sensing danger, his blue veins pulsing brighter than ever. At dawn, Commander Haskin called Cole into his office. The old man looked tired, his eyes heavy, his desk cluttered with data chips. "We received a message from Central Command," Haskin said, voice low. "They've approved Dr. Yelvia's request. A galactic escort team is arriving in 2 days. Cole's stomach dropped. "You're just going to hand him over?" Haskin looked up sharply. "What choice do I have? We're not a warship. We're a repair outpost. They'll send battle cruisers if we refuse." "He saved our lives," Cole shouted. "He protected your soldiers. And now they see him as property," Haskin snapped back. "The galaxy doesn't care about feelings. Cole, only rules." Cole stood in silence, fists clenched. Haskin softened his tone. "I'm sorry, son. I really am. But if you want to say goodbye, now's the time." Cole left the office, walking straight to the engineering bay. Brute met him at the door, sensing the tension. He lowered his head as if he already knew. "They're coming to take you," Cole whispered, stroking the thick scales on Brute's shoulder. "I won't let them." Brute leaned into him gently. A soft rumbling sound came from his chest, a sound of trust. That was the moment Cole made his decision. They had to run. That night, while the rest of the outpost slept, Cole packed a backpack with water, food packs, plasma tools, and 2 stolen keycards. He bypassed the security system using a fake maintenance override and lowered the energy barrier on Brute's enclosure. Brute didn't move at first. He just stared. "You trust me?" Cole asked. Brute nodded, slow and certain. "Then follow." They moved through the quiet halls like ghosts. Cole had memorized the patrol shifts, the blind spots. Brute stayed close, making almost no sound despite his size. The main hangar was guarded, but Cole had a plan. In storage, he had modified an old desert hauler meant for carrying parts, not speed. But he had reinforced the engine, added a cloaking screen, and attached a remote piloting stick. He opened the side door slowly. "Get in." Brute crouched and climbed in, curling his body into the cargo hold. As Cole powered the hauler, red alarms suddenly lit up. Unauthorized launch detected. Lockdown initiated. No, no, no. Cole pressed the accelerator. The doors started closing. He blasted forward just in time, the hauler scraping through the shrinking gap and into the open desert. Behind them, soldiers ran onto the launch pad. Dr. Yelvi arrived. Moments later, watching the dust trail vanish into the distance, her eyes narrowed. Track them. Out in the dunes, the sun was rising. The hauler bounced across rough sand, engines whining. Cole glanced back at Brute, who sat calmly, watching. The horizon. We made it out, Cole breathed. But now what? They couldn't go to another colony. Brute would be recognized instantly. The Dominion would hunt them across the stars. They needed a place where no one would find them, and Cole knew just the place: an abandoned mining station. Deep inside the Helix Canyons, long forgotten, unreachable by standard patrols, and shielded by natural magnetic storms. He set the coordinates and turned on the cloaking shield. They traveled for hours through blazing heat and dust storms. Brute didn't complain once. He sat beside Cole now, his large frame barely fitting in the cabin. "You know," Cole said, trying to lighten the mood, "I never thought I'd be an outlaw." Brute made a sound that was almost a chuckle. Night fell. They stopped at the edge of a canyon to rest. Cole built a small heat shelter, and Brute curled around it like a protective wall. Under the stars, Cole looked up. "Why you?" he asked. "Why did you choose me?" Brute looked at him. Then slowly, he reached out a claw and tapped Cole's chest. Not hard, gentle. Right over the heart. Cole swallowed. "Because I cared, and no one else did." Brute didn't reply, but he didn't need to. They both knew. Somewhere behind them, ships were launching. Scanners were sweeping. Credits were being offered for Brute's capture. But for now, they were free, and Cole promised himself one thing: he would never let Brute be chained again. Asterisk. The old mining station was quiet. Broken metal beams stretched into the sky like bones. Wind howled through the hollow tunnels. Dust covered everything. In layers of forgotten time. Cole stood on the top platform, looking over the desert. He could barely believe they made it. No signals reached this place. No patrols. No maps. It was perfect. Below, Brute was resting in a large storage pit. He had cleared it himself, dragging away debris and building a sort of nest from old tarp and metal panels. For the first time, Brute looked peaceful. Cole spent the next few days fixing power lines and restoring basic systems. He hooked up solar panels, filtered water, and even got an old food printer working. It wasn't much, but it was home now. Brute helped however he could. He lifted heavy debris, melted twisted doors with his heat glands, and even scared off desert scavengers. They were a team, man and beast, surviving together. But peace doesn't last forever. In a dark room on a distant space station, a bounty was posted. Wanted. Leave capture of bioweapon classified as Brute reward. 1 million credits. Last seen. Escape from Outpost 49 with human COMPA and IO, and every hunter in the galaxy saw it. And one in particular smiled. Her name was Tira Reyes, ex-military. Known across 10 sectors. Not because of her weapons, but because of what she hunted. Creatures. Big ones. Smart ones. And she had history with Brute's kind. On her ship, the Stalker's Kiss, Tira loaded her armor, scanned Cole's flight path, and whispered to her AI. He bonded with a human. Poor boy has no idea what that thing really is. She launched toward the Helix Canyons. Back at the mining station, Cole noticed strange readings on the scanner. Blips in the sand. Fast-moving. Brute noticed too. He stood at the entrance, staring into the wind. His body tensed. The blue veins along his skin pulsed faster than normal. "What is it?" Cole asked. Then he heard it, a low, high-pitched whistle, followed by a sudden flash of light. Boom! The cliff exploded behind them. Cole hit the ground hard, ears ringing. Brute was already in front of him, shielding him from falling rocks. A figure dropped from the smoke. Black armor, red visor, 2 energy blades glowing like fire. Tira Reyes. "Hello, pet," she said to Brute. "Remember me?" Brute's growl was deeper than Cole had ever heard. Not just warning, but hate. Cole jumped up. Who are you? Someone who knows what that thing really is, Tira said coldly. Your friend there? His kind was made to destroy entire colonies. They bond with humans to learn weakness. Then they strike. You're wrong, Cole said firmly. He's not like that. She smiled. We'll see. She threw a flash. Grenade, Brute roared, but the blast blinded him. Tira moved fast, slashing across his side. Sparks flew. Brute staggered. Stop, Cole shouted, jumping in front of her. She didn't attack him. Not yet. Get out of the way, kid. I won't hurt you, but I'll put that monster down. He's not a monster, Cole yelled. He saved lives. He saved me. Tira's eyes narrowed. They all start that way. Brute recovered, eyes glowing brighter. His wound steamed, but he didn't fall. Instead, he stepped forward. Not to fight, to protect Cole. Tira paused. Her visor blinked red. Still standing. Interesting. She raised her blade again. This time, Cole moved first. He activated a shield drone he had repaired earlier. It hovered between them, pulsing with energy. Tira's blade struck it and bounced back, crackling. I won't let you take him, Cole said. Brute lunged forward, not to kill but to trap. He grabbed Tira with his claws and slammed her into a metal wall, then backed off. Smoke filled the air again. Tira groaned, armor cracked. You're making a mistake. She triggered her backup drone, sending a signal to her ship. Red lights lit up across the desert. More hunters were coming. Cole ran to Brute. We have to go, now. They loaded what they could into the desert hauler and drove off through a hidden canyon path. Behind them, Tira's AI was already tracking the heat trail. As the stars blinked overhead, Cole looked at Brute. Still bleeding, still calm. You okay? Brute nodded slowly. Cole grinned. You really don't give up, do you? Neither of them knew where they would go next. But one thing was clear. This wasn't just a hunt anymore. It was a war for Brute's freedom, and Cole wouldn't let him fight it alone. The desert was quiet again, but it was the kind of quiet that warned of a coming storm. Cole and Brute stood on top of a rocky hill, looking down at the canyon below. Their ship, the old hauler, was hidden beneath camo tarps, damaged from the escape. There was no way to outrun what was coming. They could see them now. 4 ships, shaped like metal claws, cutting through the clouds. Bounty hunters, heavily armed. Paid to capture Brute and return him alive. Cold, professional. Beside Cole, Brute crouched low, growling softly. He wasn't afraid. He was ready. I don't want to fight them, Cole said quietly. But we don't have a choice. He placed a hand on Brute's shoulder. The alien's skin was warm and humming with energy. The scars from the battle with Tira still glowed faintly. Yet Brute stood strong, still protecting, still loyal. Cole had prepared as much as he could. He'd rigged the old mining station with traps, electrified walls, remote-triggered rockfalls, even a few shock mines he salvaged from wreckage. But against 4 ships? It still wasn't enough. Unless... He looked up at Brute. You trust me? Brute gave a slow, deep nod. Cole opened his bag and pulled out a device. A neural enhancer. He had taken it from one of the dead droids. It wasn't meant for Brute, but maybe, just maybe. If this works, Cole said, you'll move faster, hit harder. But it'll burn your energy like fire. Brute didn't hesitate. He lowered his head, and Cole attached the device. As soon as it connected, Brute's body shuddered. Glowing lines flared across his skin like lightning. His eyes burned brighter than ever. He looked like a creature born from stars. The hunters landed moments later. Tira Reyes stepped out of her ship, armor repaired, expression cold. She was joined by 3 others. 2 insectoid warriors with toxin rifles and a large machine man with rotating arms. Last chance, Tira shouted. Stand down, let us take the beast. You walk away. Cole stepped forward. No. Tira narrowed her eyes. You'd die for it? Cole didn't answer. Instead, he raised a detonator and pressed it. Boom! The first explosion took out the path. Behind them, no retreat. The second lit the cliffs with flame, blocking the enemy ships from lifting off. The third? That was for Brute. He roared and charged into the smoke. The first bounty hunter, aimed a dart, but Brute moved like lightning, dodging left and slamming into him with bone-shattering force. The dart fired into the air. The second raised a toxin blaster. Brute spun, using his tail to sweep both insectoids into the canyon wall. Tyra activated her twin blades and ran straight for Cole, but Cole wasn't alone. Brute leapt between them, blocking her strike, claws clashing with metal. Sparks flew. Tyra attacked fast, landing a blow across Brute's shoulder, but this time, Brute didn't just defend. He fought back, with power, with precision, with purpose. Cole rushed to the control panel and activated the canyon's final defense, a buried energy tower built into the mining system. It hummed, glowed, and then blasted out a high-frequency pulse, disabling all unshielded tech. Tyra's helmet flickered. Her weapons died. Brute charged. She tried to run, but he was faster. He pinned her down with one giant claw. She struggled but couldn't move. "Do it," she spat. "Finish it." But Brute didn't. He looked at Cole and waited. Cole stepped forward, breathing hard. "You don't deserve mercy." "But we're not monsters." Brute growled softly and released her. Cole looked at her one last time. "Tell them what happened." "Here, tell them what he really is." Tyra said nothing as Cole and Brute walked away, leaving her alive, but defeated. A week later, a new message spread across the galactic networks. Alien bioweapon escaped again, but witnesses claim it protected its human companion and spared its enemies. Some now question whether the creature is more than just a beast. Cole and Brute didn't stay to read the news. They were already gone, heading deeper into uncharted systems that no longer fugitives, not just allies, but legends in the making. Cole sat inside the hauler, steering toward a red star in the distance. Brute sat beside him, calm and alert. "You're not a pet," Cole said with a grin. "You're my brother." Brute made a low sound, something between a growl and a purr dot, as stars passed them by. One truth was now clear across the galaxy. The beast had bowed to no one, except the one human who dared to treat it with kindness. And that changed everything.